Understanding weakness and strength is pivotal to personal and professional growth. Weakness, in a general sense, refers to any limitation or inefficiency that hinders an individual's ability to achieve their goals or potential. Strength, conversely, represents an advantageous quality or competency that aids in overcoming challenges or excelling in various areas. The traditional perspective often views weakness as a negative trait to be eliminated, while strength is celebrated and cultivated. However, in the context of turning weakness into strength, this binary view is expanded to recognize that weaknesses can be transformed into unique strengths through awareness, growth, and adaptation. The significance of understanding this lies in its empowering message. Every challenge or limitation can be an opportunity for development. For instance, someone with public speaking anxiety might initially view it as a hindrance. With focus and practice, this individual could not only overcome the anxiety, but also become an eloquent speaker, deeply empathetic and attuned to the audience's needs, an evolved strength carved from what was once a limitation. Similarly, a lack of conventional leadership skills might drive a person to employ collaborative leadership, thereby fostering inclusivity and teamwork as distinct strengths. Several proponents of positive psychology advocate for this philosophy. Carol Dweck, for instance, with her research on the growth mindset, suggests that viewing setbacks as potential for growth rather than fixed traits encourages perseverance and resilience. Malcolm Gladwell, in his book David and Goliath, argues that what appear to be disadvantages can be leveraged as unconventional advantages, challenging the normative definitions of strength and weakness. Nevertheless, the journey of transforming weaknesses into strengths isn't devoid of challenges. Critics argue that not all weaknesses can be converted into strengths, especially if fundamental skills or resources are lacking. There is also the potential for self-delusion, where individuals may exaggerate their capabilities, leading to overconfidence and eventual disappointment. Despite these challenges, understanding and reevaluating weaknesses lay the foundation for personal transformation. This concept is intrinsically connected to the broader topic of self-improvement and resilience. By acknowledging weaknesses, individuals gain insights into their areas of vulnerability, enabling strategic action to either mitigate these or integrate them into their narrative of strength. This dynamic interplay ultimately enhances adaptability and encourages a holistic approach to personal and professional development. Ultimately, understanding weakness and strength as interconnected rather than dichotomous not only reshapes personal growth narratives, but also fosters a more inclusive view of potential and capability. Identifying personal weaknesses is about recognizing the areas in which we lack proficiency or confidence. It involves a deep and honest self-assessment to uncover traits, skills, or habits that may hinder our personal or professional growth. Understanding these weaknesses is crucial because it is the first step in transforming them into strengths. By acknowledging our limitations, we can create a focused plan for improvement and growth, turning perceived negatives into formidable strengths. The significance of this process cannot be overstated. In a world that values growth and adaptability, identifying and addressing personal weaknesses enable individuals to overcome barriers and seize opportunities for development. It allows people to live more fulfilling lives, achieve their goals, and make meaningful contributions in their careers and communities. For example, an entrepreneur who recognizes a lack of financial management skills might seek additional training or hire a competent financial advisor. By addressing this weakness, they not only prevent potential business failures, but also set the groundwork for more informed decision-making and business success. In another scenario, consider an athlete who identifies a lack of mental toughness during competitions. This recognition can lead them to engage in mental training exercises or work with a sports psychologist to build resilience. As a result, the athlete can turn what was once a weakness into a competitive edge, enhancing their overall performance. Opinions supporting this concept underline the value of self-awareness as vital to personal growth. Many psychologists and leadership experts argue that understanding one's limitations can encourage humility and open-mindedness, which are essential traits for continuous improvement. However, the process of identifying weaknesses can be fraught with challenges. There is often resistance or denial involved, as facing one's flaws can be uncomfortable. Moreover, individuals might fear that highlighting their weaknesses will result in judgment or limited opportunities. Alternatively, some may argue that focusing too much on weaknesses can undermine self-confidence. They might suggest leveraging existing strengths instead, proposing that individuals should build on what they naturally excel at, rather than investing significant effort into improving weak areas. Despite these challenges, identifying personal weaknesses is interconnected with other aspects of turning weaknesses into strengths. This point influences action plans, including setting specific goals, seeking feedback, and continuous learning. Each step in this process supports a holistic approach to personal development, ultimately leading to a more empowered, capable individual who can transform their initial limitations into powerful assets. Transforming weaknesses into strengths is a powerful concept that involves identifying areas of personal or organizational vulnerability and leveraging them to create opportunities for growth and improvement. This approach is significant because it acknowledges that everyone has weaknesses, yet reframes them not as detriments, but as potential assets that, when managed and transformed appropriately, can lead to a more robust and resilient individual or entity. By recognizing and addressing weaknesses, rather than ignoring or simply trying to overcome them, people and organizations can achieve a deeper level of self-awareness and strategic advantage. One real-world application of this concept is in business, where companies facing stiff competition might identify their weaknesses in customer service or product development. By turning these perceived weaknesses into focal points for innovation and excellence, a company can distinguish itself within its industry. For instance, a business struggling with slow product delivery might invest in technology to enhance its logistics, eventually leading to a competitive advantage with faster delivery times than competitors. Similarly, individuals might transform a lack of experience in a particular skill by seeking targeted training or mentorship, ultimately turning the initial weakness into a notable strength that enhances their personal or professional profile. Support for this idea often comes from the belief that embracing one's limitations is essentially a step toward comprehensive personal growth. Proponents argue that this honest introspection and strategic approach not only boosts confidence but also inspires creative solutions and boosts adaptability. However, transforming weaknesses into strengths can be challenging. It requires time, resources, and commitment. There's also the risk that this process might not always lead to positive outcomes and could potentially expose the person or organization to further criticism during the initial phases of transformation. Some critics argue that focusing too much on weaknesses might lead individuals or organizations to neglect their existing strengths, losing sight of what they already do well. Additionally, there is a viewpoint that suggests not all weaknesses need to be transformed. Sometimes they can be mitigated or compensated through collaboration with others who possess complementary strengths. This concept connects with and influences the broader theme of turning weakness into strength by highlighting the practical steps and mindset required for ongoing improvement. It emphasizes adaptability, creativity, and perseverance, traits that are essential for navigating life's challenges and achieving long-term success. The concept of the role of mindset and resilience revolves around the transformative power of mental attitudes and the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Mindset, as coined by psychologist Carol Dweck, refers to the beliefs individuals hold about their own intelligence, talents, and abilities, which can be categorized into two types: fixed and growth. A fixed mindset suggests that these qualities are static and unchangeable, while a growth mindset emphasizes the belief that abilities can be developed through hard work and dedication. Resilience, on the other hand, is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Together, they play a crucial role in turning weaknesses into strengths, as a resilient growth mindset allows individuals to perceive challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. The significance of this concept lies in its potential to reshape how people approach their weaknesses. Rather than viewing them as permanent shortcomings, adopting a growth mindset coupled with resilience empowers individuals to see weaknesses as temporary hurdles that can be overcome. This paradigm shift is essential for personal development, self-improvement, and achieving one's goals. A real-world example of this can be seen in the realm of education, where students with a growth mindset view failures as a stepping stone to success and are therefore more inclined to persevere when faced with academic challenges. Similarly, in sports, athletes who possess resilience and a growth mindset often use their defeats as motivation to train harder, ultimately forging their weaknesses into strengths. Think of legendary basketball player Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school team, but went on to become one of the greatest athletes of all time. Proponents of this idea argue that nurturing a growth mindset and resilience fosters a culture of continuous learning and adaptability, key qualities in the ever-evolving landscape of the modern world. However, some critics point out that external factors such as socioeconomic conditions and systemic barriers can limit the effectiveness of individual mindset and resilience alone, suggesting a need for broader systemic changes as well. This concept connects to other aspects of turning weaknesses into strengths by providing the psychological and emotional foundation necessary for individuals to take proactive steps towards self-improvement. By cultivating a mindset focused on growth and resilience, individuals become more receptive to feedback, more willing to take risks, and better equipped to navigate personal and professional challenges. In this way, mindset and resilience not only address weaknesses directly, but also enhance overall capability and success.